Hello again everyone, my name is James Shotwell, this is the Music Biz channel, and I've got to be honest with you, we accidentally deleted the introduction to this video. So here's the brand new one that's going to look different than the rest of the video, but things happen. Every single week, artists ask me about publicity. Sometimes they want to know who the best publicist is in their field, or how much one costs, or how much time they need, and my question for them is whether or not they are ready for a publicist. And most of the time, they don't know the answer. So today, we're going to talk about it. Are you ready for a publicist? Now, before we get too far into this, I want to take a second to read you the official definition of what a publicist is and what they do. Because I'll tell you right now that a big part of deciding whether or not you need a publicist or if you're ready for one is knowing what they do. Because each week I talk to an artist who believes their publicist should be doing the role of their manager or their manager should be doing the role of an agent and vice versa. So today I'm going to start this video by telling you what it is a publicist does with an official definition, not written by me, but written by somebody much smarter. So here we go. It is a publicist's job to create and maintain a positive public image for their client. They have connections to local and national media outlets, and they create press releases urging media coverage for their clients' work. Most publicists work for a publicity company and handle a number of clients at the same time. Today's publicists have to be knowledgeable of internet resources as well as standard print and television outlets so that they can best promote their clients to the public. Job responsibilities include preparing and handling press kits for the media, handling inquiries from media about their clients, arranging interviews and other press meetings, designing publicity plans for their clients. So now that we know what a publicist does, let's talk about whether or not you're ready for one. Because I know a lot of artists who would love a publicist. After all, a great publicist has the ability to get you places that your music might not otherwise be seen or heard. For example, a publicist could get you in Rolling Stone, whereas your myband@gmail.com email address might get lost in the inbox shuffle. A great publicist can also set you up with interviews that actually move the needle rather than long conversations that never get posted or get posted and nobody ever actually engages with them. A great publicist can also help you decide between two different offers, which one is better for you in the long term, which one will bring you more clicks, and which one is more of a cool thing to brag about. All of these things are stuff that a publicist can do, and they do much more. I know that they don't have the jobs of a manager or an agent, but most of them are knowledgeable enough that if you're working with a good one, they can give you general career advice and kind of help you along the way. Everybody is trying to root for you if they're working for you, so obviously they want to help you along the way. But are you ready for a publicist? That's the question that we keep coming back to. And honestly, it's as easy as knowing who you are. And I know that you think that. I know that you think that you have the answer already. You are a metal band. You are a rapper. You are a whatever it is that you want to put there at the end. But that's not what I'm referring to. I've spoken to dozens of publicists about what it is that turns them off from a client the fastest, and the answer is always the same. They don't know who they are. They cannot answer two very basic questions. Who am I? What am I trying to accomplish? Now, most artists can give vague answers. They can say, I am insert band name here, and I'm trying to become the biggest band in the world. But those are not answers. They're placeholders at best. The answers that we're looking for is what makes you who you are. You know, you're not just a songwriter. You are a songwriter from Tuscaloosa, Alabama, who was raised in a trailer by a single mom alongside three brothers and sisters who all went on to become scientists, but you chose the music life. And that led you down an interesting path full of pitfalls and amazing highs and incredible lows that nobody would ever believe, but you've detailed them through your songs. That is a better answer than saying that you're a songwriter. And as for what you want to accomplish, becoming the biggest artist in the world is the general goal of most people. You need a specific goal, one that is hopefully attainable through a campaign with this publicist or through a series of well-crafted and well-executed publicity campaigns. For example, I would like to have 10,000 more followers on social media by the end of the year. I would like to sell 1,000 copies of my album. I would like to get 2 more tour opportunities this year based on the positivity surrounding my music. I would like to raise my profile to such an extent that I can easily get covered in publications X, Y, and Z. These are all attainable goals. They might not all fall under the purview of what a publicist can give you, but they are the kind of specific goals that a publicist is looking for. So if you can answer those two questions, you're already well on your way. The next thing you need is all of the basic assets to a successful publicity campaign, because your publicist is not supposed to make those for you. Your publicist isn't supposed to handle your PR photos. You're supposed to take care of that. Your publicist isn't supposed to have high quality versions of the album art and all the album credits and all the details about who wrote the songs, who performed the songs, who recorded on the songs, etc. You're supposed to have that. The publicist isn't supposed to decide when your album's coming out. They might help you with that, but you're supposed to know when that's coming out. They aren't supposed to choose the title. You're supposed to. They aren't supposed to set up your distribution. You're supposed to already have distribution. They aren't supposed to set up your social media. You're supposed to do that. Whatever it is that you think a publicist is supposed to do, you should try to do as much of those things as possible before hiring one, because nothing turns a publicist away faster than feeling like an artist has no idea what they're doing. A publicist is not supposed to help you go from 0 to 100. They're supposed to help somebody that's already pretty far along reach that next plateau. They are not taking you from 0 to 100. They are helping you take one step forward, maybe 2 or 3 if you're very lucky. The third thing you need, and maybe this is the most important after the ability to answer those first two questions, is time. Now, every publicist is unique and every campaign is different, but as a general rule of thumb, you want to give a publicist at least 1 month lead time before the thing that you're trying to promote is out into the world. At least 6 would be ideal, and most would prefer several months. I mean, a great PR campaign can happen in a small amount of time if everything goes as planned, but a far better approach would be to take a 3 to 6 month approach to PR. Some of those months might not be actually pushing stuff out into the world, but just building the right plan and figuring out the right way to execute. Now, there are publicists who will take on an artist with 1 week notice, 2 week notices, or maybe just for a single announcement, but those cases are rare and few and far between. For example, I've spoken to publicists who will only do that in a situation where they know the artist first, or maybe it's just such an incredible deal or offer for them that they can't turn it down. But if you're just a random nobody and you try to come to someone on short notice and add all this stress to their life of telling them that your album's coming out in a week and you still need PR, they're probably just going to ask you to move along because publicists are already overworked and overstressed. So give them time. If you don't have it, you're going to have to wait till the next round, or you're going to have to push the release of the thing you're trying to promote. Number 4, you need money. Publicity is a job. Publicists and their teams are human beings who have bills to pay and taxes to pay, and they have to keep a roof over their heads, and they have to not be stressed about how they're going to do all those things, so they charge money to run PR campaigns. So don't come to a really good publicist and try to get them to do a 3-month campaign for $100. That's not how this works. People have set rates, and yes, they'll cut you a deal if they can, but by and large, you're going to be paying a lump sum for several months up front, or you're going to be paying monthly installments of something, and it's not going to be $100 or less. It's going to take a big investment, and part of that is because the publicist needs to know how serious you are. And I know you're thinking, well, I'm hiring a publicist, obviously I'm serious. But you would be surprised how many people pay for somebody to help them with marketing and then just fall off the planet altogether, assuming that the marketing person will do their job. And that's not how PR works. By paying for a good publicist, you're saying, this matters to me. This is so important to me that I'm going to work with you to make it the best it can possibly be. And if you're not willing to make that financial commitment up front, that says something about how you feel about your music and how you feel about the worth of that person's work. Don't be insulting, pay them. So if you have those things, if you know who you are, what you're trying to accomplish, you already have all the assets that you need, and whatever those happen to be, you also already have the money and you have plenty of runway, well then I think, my friend, you might be ready for a publicist. But the last piece of this puzzle is basic human decency. So it kind of goes along with having all of your assets and having time and having a budget. It's being a decent person, because I have heard plenty of stories about artists pitching publicists or being rude to publicists who were slow to respond to them and then blowing a deal entirely. And not only blowing the deal with that publicist, but this industry is small. People talk. So if you're rude to one, they're going to tell everybody else, and you will find it very hard to get a good publicity campaign for your next release. So as a golden rule, treat everyone how you want to be treated. And if you can do all of these things and you have all those materials, well, guess what, my friends? You're ready for a PR campaign. You are ready to take the next step in your career. So now you have to find the right publicist for you. And how do you do that? Well, we don't have enough time in this video to get into that, but we will very, very soon. So if you haven't done so already, go ahead and click the subscribe button down below. Music Biz is here to help you navigate the modern industry. That means figuring out emerging trends, what you can learn from the big stars, what we can learn from the massive failures, and so much more. So please, if you haven't done so already, take a moment and click that button down below. And if you have, Thank you sincerely for your unending support. It means the world to me. You make my job possible. I cannot thank you enough. But until I see you again, which will be very soon, I promise you, please take care of yourself because you deserve it.